There's this one single habit, a kind of mental switch, that's the real difference between just being good at something and being truly masterful. It's a state of mind that can make you faster, way more intuitive, and honestly, kind of dangerous in the best way possible. So let's dive into what this habit is and how you can actually start using it. Now listen to this quote. It's not about trying to think harder or cramming in more preparation. No, it's the complete opposite. It's about unlocking this ability to just act without your conscious mind slowing you down. It's about getting to a place where what you do is so pure, so instant. It just feels like pure instinct. But, before we get there, we got to figure out what's really holding us back in the first place.
So who's your greatest opponent? Well, here's the thing. It's not the other team. It's not your competition at work. It's not even the challenge you're facing. It's way, way closer than that. It's that voice inside your own head. You know the one, that constant little narrator who sounds, well, a little something like this.
Yeah, that one. You get trapped in this endless loop, right? You're constantly second-guessing yourself, replaying every little mistake, just wondering, did I do enough? This is where the paralysis starts to set in.
And then, right on cue, the fear kicks in. The fear of failing, of looking like an idiot, of not being good enough. It's that voice that just makes you freeze. You'd rather do nothing than risk doing something that isn't absolutely perfect.
And to top it all off, the ego jumps in. That self-conscious feeling that makes you feel like you're on stage even when you're not. So here's the bottom line. Your biggest enemy, it's your own mind, when it's just too active, too analytical. But what if? What if you could just turn it off? Okay, so the solution here is, well, it's probably the exact opposite of what you'd expect. We live in a world that's always telling us to think harder, plan more, analyze everything. But the real path to mastery, it's in the other direction. It's about finding a state that the Japanese call Mushin.
Mushin. It literally translates to no mind. And look, it doesn't mean your mind is empty, like you're not thinking at all. It's more like your mind is just still. It's not bogged down by anger or fear or ego. It stops interfering. And when that happens, your body can just react. Purely on instinct, purely on all that training you've done, with zero hesitation. I mean, just look at the difference here. On one side, you've got the overthinking mind. It's just a chaotic mess, right? A storm of what-ifs and self-doubt. But on the other side, you have Mushin. It's like the calm, clear eye of that very same storm. And that's the place where perfect action becomes possible. So what makes this state so incredibly powerful? Well, it's simple. Conscious thought is slow. It really is. By the time your brain has analyzed everything and decided what to do, poof, the moment's gone. Mushin lets you just bypass all of that. It lets all your training, all your deeply ingrained skills just take over, instantly. You don't think, you just act.
And I bet you've felt this before, for sure. You might call it being in the zone, or maybe you've heard the term flow state. You know that magical feeling when you're just so completely absorbed in what you're doing that everything else just melts away? Time gets all weird, your actions feel totally effortless, almost perfect? That feeling? Yeah, that's Mushin. And this really says it all. 100%. When you're in that Mushin state, you are 100% present. Every ounce of your energy is locked in on the task right in front of you. There's no energy wasted on doubt, no room for distraction. Just total, absolute commitment to this very moment.
All right, so this all sounds great, but how do you actually do it? How do you get to this state of no mind? Well, here's the interesting part. It's not about learning some new, complicated technique. It's actually about unlearning a bad habit. It's the habit of letting go of that need for conscious control. Okay, it really boils down to three things. First, you have to trust your practice. Seriously, think about all the hours, all the reps, all the studying you've done. Your body, your subconscious, they know what to do. You just have to trust them. Second, you've got to focus on the process, not the outcome. Just get lost in the feeling of doing the thing itself, the rhythm of it, not whether you're going to win or lose. And third, and this is the hardest one for most of us, you have to release conscious control. You have to intentionally let go of that need to micromanage every single tiny move.
So why go through all this trouble? What's the payoff? Well, because getting a handle on this no-mind state, that's the bridge. It's what takes you from just being competent at something to achieving true mastery. It's the difference between the person who just knows all the right moves and the person who becomes them.
And what does that look like? Well, first, it's effortless execution. Things that are super complex suddenly feel simple. It also unlocks peak performance whenever you need it, because you're not fighting with yourself anymore. And all of this is the real path to true mastery.
So I'm just going to leave you with this one question. Think about it. In your job, in your creative pursuits, in your everyday life, who would you be? What could you actually achieve if you finally learned how to get out of your own way?